Just been speaking to Joe Lycett about his Channel 4 documentary tonight on tackling sewage in our water. And the Environment Secretary, Steve Barclay, joins us now. I'm sure you were just listening to Joe Lycett, and we were asking him, what's gone wrong? You know, is it the fault of the regulators? Is it the Environment Agency? Is it the fundamental way in which we are providing water through a privatised system? Is it decades of underinvestment? I mean, it's clearly gone badly wrong, Minister. Where do you put the blame?
Well, what Joe was saying was we need to take tougher action, and that's exactly what we're doing.
But on the diagnosis first, where's it gone wrong? Where's it gone wrong first? You know,
well,
who's to blame? Why is it
Victorian sewage. Well, we have a Victorian sewage system. We have significant amounts of rainwater through climate change and changing weather patterns. There's growing demand on the system, and that takes very significant additional investment. So that's why we set out last year the plan for water to have a step change in terms of the large-scale investment that needs to go into the system as a whole. But I think there's also additional things that need to happen. So there's been bad behaviour by water firms. You touched on the fine that's just been imposed on one of them, but we need to hold them more to account. That's exactly what I'm doing. So, for example, a step change in the number of unannounced inspections. For too long, water firms have been able to mark their own homework, to self-report when incidents occur. We need to have more unannounced inspections to better scrutinise them.
So
we put in place unlimited fines. So once we have those, as I say, it's a combination, Ed. So part of it is significant more investment. Part of it is ending a cultural issue where water firms were able to mark their own homework by having more unannounced inspections. Part of it is then having tougher enforcement when there is wrongdoing. So that's addressing, for example, bonuses being paid by companies that have breached the law, which we announced the consultation on. So there's a whole range of things, but above all, it's about having a tougher enforcement regime to better hold the water companies to account, and that's exactly what I'm setting out.
Yeah, can I just ask, because I wouldn't normally raise a family issue, but campaigners have. Concerns over a potential conflict of interest for you because your wife is a senior executive at one of the water companies, at Anglian Water, a senior position, head of major infrastructure, planning and stakeholder engagement. Anglian Water is one of 6 companies under investigation by the regulator for potential illegal dumping of raw sewage. Can you explain to people why that is not a conflict of interest?
Well, I think with any potential conflict, the key is to have transparency for everything to be open and declared. And I think that applies across the board. There's lots of other examples of potential conflicts of interest. The key is how those are managed. So everything has been done in accordance with the ministerial code. Everything has been done in a transparent way. And of course, spouses will have their own jobs and their own careers. What matters is whether in this role I am holding the water companies to account. That is absolutely what I'm committed to doing. That is why I'm toughening up the regime in terms of bonuses. It's why I'm ending the culture of self-referral in terms of inspections by a step change in the number of unannounced inspections. It's why, as a government, we've put in place unlimited fines, and why we've got a clear plan in terms of the plan for water to get significantly more investment into the sector. So a whole range of measures that we're taking to better hold the water companies to account, because I absolutely recognise the frustration that many people feel in terms of the sewage going into our system and the fact we need to take more robust action to tackle that.
Just one question on, because you're standing outside the ICC in Birmingham. The Prime Minister is speaking today to the National Farmers Union conference. He's the first Prime Minister to speak to that conference for 15 years. Why this year?
Well, when he appointed me, I was absolutely keen for him to do so. We worked very closely together in the Treasury, and the Prime Minister's long focused on issues of farming. In fact, his maiden speech was all about farming. He represents, like I do, a farming constituency, and we have a clear plan to boost food production, to secure, to focus on food security in particular. That includes a doubling of the grants for productivity on farms to help reduce the costs of farms, for example, the energy costs through solar, the pesticides costs by investing in better equipment on farms, helping farms to be more productive as part of our clear plan to back British farming. And that's what the Prime Minister will be setting out today, alongside other measures such as on food security or mental health on farms.
Steve Barclay, we have to leave it there. Thanks very much for your time this morning.
Thank you, Minister.